Good afternoon, everyone. As we know what is going around right now in Israel and in Palestine, Areness Foundation decided to come up with its initiative to help all the Indian brothers and sisters stuck out in conflict-ridden areas. Now, considering there are very few options left when you see an emergency situation that emerges like this on October 7th, when the siege happened, we also realized that the embassy was emptied and now the citizens have to come through Operation Ajay, which was launched last Wednesday. The second flight of Operation Ajay has already reached New Delhi. But the scene of panic among Indians and also the fact that the families in India see the whole situation out of hand, we thought we'll come up with our own safety initiative. Now, what do we do? What are the safety toolkits that one should always understand in such issues? So basically, as we know, India has launched Operation Ajay to help Indians stuck in Israel return home. The operation will involve returning and monitoring of the situation in Israel and Palestine and coordinating with Indian embassies in Tel Aviv and Ramallah. Now, if you are someone who works in Tel Aviv or around, please know that you have to stay in constant touch with the embassy, the consulate. There are a few numbers which has been given as an emergency contact number, which will be shared by me. Now, the second thing that you have to do to ensure as an Indian community you are in touch with each other. You're always better off when you're in a group. So that is the second most important thing. Have a community which works with you, stays with you, and you decide that your every movement will be more strengthened when you are together. Number three is to stay informed. It's very important to follow the local news and at the same time to follow the advisory of Indian Embassy given out from India and also the one which is there in Israel. Now, when we speak of staying informed, it means to keep up to date with the latest news, the developments in Israel and Palestine. This can help you make informed decision about your safety and travel plans. Now, when we speak of the third thing is to practice caution. Please understand that the situation is grim. Even if you think that certain time that situation seems under control, it might not be. So, what do we do in that? When you are in Israel, it is important to exercise caution and follow the advice of local authorities and avoid areas where there is violence or unrest. It is most advisable to stay indoors and to plan your travel according to your authorities and the guidance. Now, how do you register for it? First and foremost, you have to keep your documents ready. Number second is to inform the local authorities, the embassy in Israel. And the second thing is to contact with your parents to suggest your name for the form which has been given out by Ministry of External Affairs in New Delhi for Operation Ajay. Now, once your details are submitted both from Israel and from India through your parents, you will be part of the list of the Indians who have to be evacuated. Now, number fourth is to consider travel insurance. If at all possible, please seek out the validity of your travel insurance to ensure if there is any medical kit needed at any point of time, you're provided with that. Now, overall, if you're an Indian stuck in Israel, it is important to stay calm. Please note that in such situation, logic and calmness is something which is required utmost. We are in friendly terms with Israel and we are also in friendly terms with Palestine. There is no war which is there directly with India or Indians. So, even in the case that something happens where you are not able to reach the embassy or Tel Aviv, the capital, what you can seek and should seek at the moment of utmost urgency is to reach out to the local borders. Israel as a country is surrounded by multiple countries. Please do not rush to countries which are already in conflict, but if permitted, seek out to the countries like Jordan, Egypt, or even for that matter, Turkey, if at all possible. Apart from that, when we look at the situation, I'm sure everything will be in control. India has a long history of evacuating its citizens. We have evacuated 176,000 citizens from Iraq in 1980s during the subprime crisis, and I'm sure this will be one of those. And we are well learned with our series of past incidents. Now, quickly talking about what is happening in Canada. We all know multiple Indians have taken PR citizenship in Canada and are there with their families. But the recent surge in the Khalistani movement and after the recent murder case, we saw that there's a growing concern with regards to Indian students in Canada, which has been a concern due to recent movement of Khalistani leader being killed. Now, India has issued a travel advisory for its citizens, warning them to exercise utmost caution in Canada due to growing anti India activities and politically condoned hate crimes and criminal violence in Canada. However, Canadian universities and Canadian government have assured Indian students that there are no issues concerning their safety. But it's always good to keep some safety standards always in mind. As I mentioned, the first thing is to stay informed. One has to stay up to date with the latest news and the development in Canada and India, and at the same time, the movement which is happening there. This can help you make informed decisions, and at the same time, one has to contact the Indian Embassy. Please know, Indian Embassy acts like your local guardian in a foreign country. Know your officers. We'll be sharing a list of officers and their designation and the emergency contact number for all the listed countries in the conflict zone. When you are an Indian citizen in Canada and feel unsafe, you can contact the Indian Embassy for assistance and they can provide information on the situation. Now comes the most important part, which is to follow general safety precautions. While Canada is generally a safe country, it is essential for Indian students to be aware of their surroundings and follow some general safety precaution of their own. For example, you should always keep your passport safely with you at all times. Learn Canadian laws beforehand to avoid breaking them unintentionally and keep your money in various places instead of a single location. But always keep your wallet handy with your cards so that you know that in case of sudden travel, you're always ready. Seek help from university security. Canadian universities pay extreme attention to the safety of the students on campus. As an international student, please understand you will have access to various points of contact for any kind of emergency. Do not hesitate to reach out. Ensure that your university security services are well taken. Overall, Indian students in Canada should stay calm and seek assistance from both the local contacts, Indian Embassy, and at the university level. Now, when we speak of last year's situation at Ukraine and Russia, a lot of our students have gone back to pursue the medical studies. Now, when I speak of Ukraine, Russia, we know the turmoil is it's still there. It's not come down. It is still there. But one has to remain prepared for anything that comes up. One has to prepare for the worst situation if at all it happens. Now, the situation in Ukraine, Russia has left many Indians stuck in Ukraine. Now, as I mentioned, India has been able to get help from Ukraine and Russia to evacuate its citizens because of its friendly relations. We know directly we will never be under attack. But if at all a situation comes up where we are part of a crowd, we cannot undermine the gravity of that. So one has to ensure that we are always avoiding crowded areas in case of such emergency and we stay with our community, we stay informed and we stay in touch with our university, our employers and with our family. Now, there are hundreds of citizens, mostly students, stuck in Ukraine, and India will continue to seek cooperation from all sides. India has been under pressure to condemn Russia's invasion, but has so far been reluctant to do so. Our response to Russian invasion of Ukraine has been distinctive among the major democracies and among US strategic partners. India's diplomatic neutrality ultimately signifies that one Indian scholar has called a subtle pro Moscow position because we have our stand with Russia on this. Now, in case you are stuck in Ukraine during a time of turmoil, what you will do is again to contact the Indian Embassy and to stay in touch with the Indian Embassy um, at your nearest office or the nearest city. Make sure your parents have your vital details in a scanned copy. Submit it at Ministry of External Affairs Ukraine Division in New Delhi. And then the second thing is to stay informed. Please keep up to date with the local news. Follow general safety precautions. While Ukraine, it is essential to be aware of its surroundings and follow some general safety precautions. For example, keep your documents safe and learn Ukrainian laws, but at the same time, know the bordering areas where you can go in case you feel that you can't travel back to India. Ultimately, you will take at least 24 hours to reach your country back, even in utmost urgency. Seek help from local authorities, and overall, if you're an Indian stuck in Ukraine due to conflict, it is important to stay calm and, as I mentioned, please stay within your community. Now, the idea is to have a plan before you are caught in the crossfire. The plan should include a safe place to go and a way to contact emergency services. Please be prepared to leave quickly. Have a bag packed all the time with your passport, with your vital documents, and some cash. You may need to evacuate the country at a short notice, so one has to remain mentally prepared for the same. The consulate services and embassy services keep on updating the website with emergency numbers, and you have to ensure that you are in touch with them. Now, when we speak of Israel Hamas war, India has made it stand very clear that India will believe in the two nation theory of sovereign, distinctive borders for both the countries and a clear nation for Palestine at the same time without disrespecting the sovereignty of Israel. But nonetheless, when we speak of this emergency situation, uh, Ministry of External Affairs and His Excellency, which is Mr. Ambassador Sanjeev Singhal for Israel, has appointed P. Himlata Rani as the person who will be contacted during emergency situation by Indians. The telephone number, please note down, shall be 97235 226748. Please note down, it is Himlata Rani who will be taking care of Indians stuck in Israel. The email ID is consul, CONSL, dot Tel Aviv, TELAVIV, at MEA dot gov dot in. Now, when we spoke of Canada, I'll give out the details for the emergency contact number. It will be Sri Sidharth, who and his number would be BLS plus 1289 498 1320. For Ukraine, the helpline number is plus 380 933559958. The point of contact for Ukraine is Sanjay Rawat. His email ID is pol.kyiv@mea.government.in. I repeat, it will be pol.kyiv@mea.gov.in. For Russia, it is uh, Ambassador Pawan Kapoor. His name number is plus 79652773414. And also for Indian students, the number is plus 7965277341413. Now, when I speak of Palestine, the contact number for Indians is telephone number 970-2290-3033. The extensions are available at 970-2290-3034 and 970-2290-3036. Email ID is com.ramallah, ramallah@mea.gov.in. The point of contact of the person there is Mrs. Asma Saheen, Ambassador. Her name is number is 97059916418. Email ID is representative reb.ramallah@mea.gov.in. At Areness Foundation, we are always ready to help you. We have released our own helpline to help you out in moments of urgency like this. Please consider us like your family, and we'll be there to help in whatever capacity. Areness Foundation works closely with lawyers, and as a public policy lead, I take my pride in saying that in this moment of urgency, we'll be there to ensure any help that's possible from our end. Our helpline number is 93195 83931. Thank you.